It's our final 2 games of the season today, and once again, we are going into the end of the season with an outside chance of a Europa League qualification spot, but knowing we need results. Hopefully this will turn out a little bit better than it did last season. Hello and welcome to Club 4, part 20 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have those final 2 games of the season, away against Tottenham and at home against local rivals Chelsea. Since you were last with me, we've continued the form that we've had really all season. We beat the teams we're supposed to beat. We lose against the teams we're supposed to lose against. We are the most predictable football team in the Premier League. Would that make the bookies love us or the punters love us? I don't know how betting works, but you know, you would expect us to lose both of these games, away against Tottenham, at home against Chelsea. And if we do, we probably won't finish in Europe. At the moment, we're in 7th place in the league. Everyone's played their games in hand that they had, so we're actually in quite a strong position. There's only Wolves and Tottenham who can catch us and deny us that 7th place finish, and I'm pretty confident 7th place is Europa League, although the fact that Tottenham have already qualified through the League Cup is a bit of a worry, because that might mean it's only... How many Europa League spots do we get? Does it say? No, not if I click on there anyway. So, to be safe, we need to win at least one of these games. I don't know. I'm making no predictions. I'm not at all confident because I know how our form's gone this season. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. And a Europa League spot would be quite handy. And this is the team we're putting out there to try and achieve exactly that. We're going with Lopez in goal, a back four of Sosa, Bakayoko, Duffy and Sessegnon, with Toussaint as our holding midfielder, Pineda and Horta in front of him, Lucas Moura, Mitrovic and Hall as the rest of our front 3. Ever since we signed Mirabella permanently, he's stopped playing well, so he's been taken out of the team for today. Lucas Moura, we signed him from Tottenham. He might, sometimes you have that little bit of a extra incentive to go and score against your previous team, and I'm hoping that's what we see out of Moura today. If you're wondering where Liam Thorne is, he got himself injured. He's got a torn back muscle. You won't see him again this season, but hopefully he'll be ready and raring to go next season and score loads of goals for us. That's what we're hoping for. Let's get into the game. Let's score predictions, anyone? I mean, yeah, inconsistent. But then so are they. This is Tottenham, remember, under Pep Guardiola, after he walked out on, completely dominant Manchester City last season. If you remember, didn't Manchester City win the FA Cup with a 9-0 win, as well as winning the Premier League? Guardiola walked away to come and save Tottenham. They're currently in 9th place, but they have won the Europa League. Right, should we... I'm tempted to take the pressure off. I always ask for a win, but maybe that's why we're losing our big games. Maybe we take the pressure off a little bit and just see if that makes a difference. I don't know that if it's going to. I don't know if this is the right game to do it either, because a win here and we're pretty much in Europe, so it probably wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world to focus some minds, but I'm just expecting us to lose. I think everyone's expecting us to lose. We missed out on Europe on the last day of the season last season, and I imagine we're probably going to do the same again this season. Harry Kane is still at Spurs. This is a mid-table Spurs side now. I don't understand why Harry Kane is still there. He still scores lots of goals. He also misses chances like that. I think he's almost certainly leaving for Manchester United this summer. It's all we ever hear about in the media, which... Manchester United are going to get even more dominant. They're already top of the league. Still got Jose Mourinho in charge, which I'm sure pleases all Manchester United fans watching. Imagine still having Mourinho in charge in 2025. What a world. But, if he's going there, it's going to be even harder to break into that upper echelon of the Premier League. But I guess it then completely rules Tottenham out as challengers and means that it really is just probably a top 5 we're trying to break into if you add Arsenal into that group, although realistically it's very much a top 4 if you look at the points. Arsenal is a bit of a group on their own, and then the rest, and we are very much part of the rest, a group of like 4 or 5 teams who, if we had a really good season and Arsenal fluffed their lines a little bit, might be able to challenge for 5th place. But we're all so very far away from the Champions League. We may as well not even look at it. It's like we're not even in the same competition. How can we be in 7th place but so far behind 4th place? It's insane. Right, Hall. can't beat his man. And Tottenham have been closing us down well, so we've not really been able to get hold of this game at all. We've not had a shot yet. They've had 5. They clearly want this more than we do. A win for them, and they do have an outside chance of pushing up into this 7th place finish themselves. Not that they need it, the greedy swines. Although, Pineda's in. Oh, and Mitrovic, it fell free. I didn't even see it fall free. I thought the whole move was over with Pineda's chance and went straight at the keeper. But I don't know what the keeper's doing here. He just completely fumbles it. It falls into the path of Mitrovic, and Mitrovic tucks it away, and we're 1-0 up with our first shot, or first move anyway. I guess the Pineda one goes down as our first shot, but as part of our first move, we go 1-0 up, and poor old Tottenham, puts us up to 6th as it stands, and also guarantees, again as it stands, would guarantee us a top 7 finish, which I'm fairly confident is enough for Europe. In actual fact, if Tottenham do beat us today, and they end up finishing 7th, and we finish 8th, does that still qualify us for Europe, as they're already in? Or is there only 3 spots in the first place? Really, Huddersfield and Wolves are the ones we just need to get out of the way. Tottenham are already in, so we don't need to worry about them. I guess we now need to carry on with the underdogs talk. Nobody's expecting anything. Yeah, play without pressure. No, that didn't. I mean, it's not inspiring them, but it's not stressing them out. So I guess that's a good thing. Duffy plays it across to Sessegnon, but the move just fritters away without us seeing anything. Tottenham are going down to 10 men here, really early in the second half as well. They've had a man sent off, and they've just decided to abandon an attacking player. Looking at the formation thing down there, Horta with the free kick. Their keeper does keep hold of it this time, but surely Tottenham are going to have to be a little more ambitious than this if they're going to try and get back into this game. Sessegnon tries to find Hall, but it doesn't get anywhere near him. And for a team that are down to 10 men, Tottenham are still getting rather a lot of the ball. But Lucas Moura is in space, and there is what we were talking about before the match. You play a man against his former club, and it's almost guaranteed. It's his 100th league goal of his career as well, coming in off that left wing. And we can take him off now. He's done his business. Hall did really well to win the ball back. Moura is in so much space there. And 49 minutes into the match, it's Tottenham 0, Fulham 2, and we can taste Thursday night football now. Ooh, Thursdays are so delicious. I tell you what, if we do qualify for the Europa League, we are going to have to sign some players this summer. Our squad, although it's improved drastically from this time last year, is not close to big enough to be able to handle all the extra games you get from a run in the Europa League. Because we're not just in there to turn up if we get in. We want quarterfinals, semi-finals. We want a proper run at it. Oh, Pineda hits the post now. We're all over him at this point. They've still had more shots than us, but we've controlled everything else. Toussaint's not playing particularly well. So I'm going to bring on Alfie Mawson, actually, and just stick Bakayoko a little bit further forward. I think that makes us a little bit more secure at the back. Sosa can come off and bring Paul Bell on, give him some more game time, as there's a very good chance that's going to be his position next year, with Sosa unlikely to come back, I would say, unless we can get him. I mean, his contract might be up at his parent club. We might be able to get him on a freebie, in which case we won't. It's not that we don't want him back, but I don't know that I necessarily want to waste a loan on him next year when we've got Paul Bell at the club. And we could use those loans in other positions. Striker, maybe. Even though Mitrovic might well be top scorer in the Premier League again at this point. Harry Kane's just won a penalty with 15 minutes to go. And we need Lopez also playing against his former club, remember. We need Lopez to pull off a save here. Right. Tottenham are down to 10 men, but we're going into the last 15 minutes. We're only 1 goal ahead. And I know there's going to be people in the comments saying, Kev, this is the point where you stop being so attacking. My view on that is, and the reason I'm not going to, we're playing against 10 men. We've played quite well. The only way they're going to get a decent amount of attacking in is if we let them. So let's not let them. Let's just keep attacking them. I'm going to take Pineda off and bring Calderon on. And just hope that we've got enough about us to hold on for the last couple of minutes of the game. It's Lopez with the goal kick, plays it out to Mawson. Mawson forward to Lucas Moura, who finds Bell. Bell is playing it back to Moura and then looking for the overlap himself. It's a really poor pass from Moura, and it's left Bell out of position as well. Tottenham play the ball forward, but Sessegnon should have this covered. Plays it back to Lopez. We need to get the ball out of that penalty area. This scares me. Look how calm Lopez is there. Finds Sessegnon, who plays the ball over the top. I think for Hall to chase, but it was such a poor pass But then a bit of a weird pass from their keeper as well that Mitrovic really should have been a little more alive to. And Moura gets the ball back in midfield, finds Mitrovic. Mitrovic turns, releases Hall. There is a man in the middle. I'm not sure who it is. Calderon maybe. But Hall has been brought down. Is it a penalty? I think it's a penalty. I would argue that might have been outside of the area, but I'm not going to press that argument too far. Mitrovic now for his second of the game and to pretty much secure European football for Fulham next year. It's his 19th goal of the season. He is 30 years old now. If he was 26, 27, I'd be forgetting any idea of needing a new striker, especially with Thorne at the club. With him at the age he is, I'm still going to look in the summer. But at 3-1 with 1 minute left, I think we're pretty much there when it comes to European qualification. It's still, I don't think it's mathematically secure. We'll find out after the game. But we've played very well today. Horta forcing a save out of the Spurs keeper. Horta's another one whose loan is up at the end of this season. Horta's one I'm probably a little bit keener to bring back. He's been a key player for us this season and we'll miss him if we don't have him next year. Tottenham, just give up now. Come on now. You're down in 9th place. Guardiola's about to get sacked. I mean, we've talked the last couple of episodes about potential moves. Tottenham is an interesting one. If Guardiola does get sacked, and I suspect Tottenham probably wouldn't even offer me an interview because of the weird way it works at this stage of the game. But I wouldn't be averse to that Tottenham job if the opportunity came up. Or Everton. Everton just below him in the league as well. I think either of them are a bigger club that we could move on to and maybe try and push on Tottenham, I guess more so than Everton. Right, that was very well done. And I think we're in Europe. Let's wait and see if we get the notification. But I'm pretty sure we've got Europa League next year. It doesn't say. So we're obviously not mathematically there. Well, we need to beat Chelsea. So does that mean it's only top 6 that are automatically in and 7th place might not get it? 7th place got it last year. Does it say on here? Rules... is European continental qualification. Top 4 teams qualify for Champions League. Teams placed 5th and 6th into the Europa League. Team in 7th position gets in the Europa League second qualifying round, depending on winners of FA Cup and League Cup. Well, Tottenham have already won the FA Cup, so that takes them out of the equation. Who is still in the FA Cup? FA Cup is Man United against Tottenham. So I think that means 7th place does get in. We just got to beat Chelsea to make sure. That's what we're going to try and do now. No changes for the final game of the season then, because why would we? We were just very, very good against Tottenham. Chelsea are one of 4 teams going into the final game of the season with the chance to win the Premier League. The difference is they're not going to. I'll show you why in a second. We're going to do the whole pressure off thing again here, I think. Recent standings have Chelsea in 1st while we're 6th. Wow. We've got nothing to lose here. Yeah, let's show them what we're capable of. Right, there you go. That's motivated people, taking the pressure off a little bit, which is good. And this is the league table. So Chelsea, although only 3 points behind top of the table Liverpool, there's a 10-goal difference there, but difference in goal difference between the two. So even if Chelsea win and everyone else in the top 4 loses, Liverpool is still going to win the league. So it's very unlikely Chelsea win the league. So hopefully they'll just want us to get into Europe. And Mitrovic has got his 20th goal in this goal of the season. As it stands right now, unless that fella at Man United scored as well, Mitrovic will be out on his own as top scorer in the Premier League as of right now, which is a ridiculous situation. But he's scored a few goals for us this season, and as it stands, we are in Europe. I just hope Chelsea want us to stay there, because I think that's how local relationships between clubs work. If 2 clubs are close to each other, they really do encourage each other to do well. There's no rivalry there. Why would there be rivalry? Look at the points difference. Chelsea are basically playing in a different league. Lucas Moura running. I mean, he ran past a couple of players and it looked like he was trying to slot Mitrovic in, but Mitrovic wasn't really aware of what was going on. And Chelsea coming at us here and get an almost immediate equaliser. In fact, they don't. It's been disallowed. Now, remember, from last time we played Chelsea, they are doing the 4-3-3, where they're playing Sancho and Correa, who are not strikers, as strikers. I got confused by this last time. I'm still a little bit confused by it now. I don't know why they wouldn't just play them in their more natural positions. I don't know if that's something I should be playing around with. Shall I just stick Hall and Mirabella up front with Mitrovic? because apparently if it's good enough for Chelsea, it's good enough for us. Sessegnon's just done brilliantly. Cuts inside and shoots just over from the edge of the area. Tell you what, this taking the pressure off thing, there might be something to this. For months, you lot have been telling me, always be assertive with your team talks. Just be a complete swine with them. Make the players afraid of you. But taking the pressure off, being Mr. Nice Guy, as this is the second decent performance it's brought out of this in 2 games, 2 big games as well. Right, Tottenham are beating Huddersfield in one of the other games. That's significant because what that means is even if we lose here, as long as Huddersfield lose to Tottenham, we're in Europe anyway, and this result then doesn't matter. Liverpool are winning their game as well, so as it stands, no one else can win the league because if Liverpool win, they're champions. Everyone else is relying on Liverpool slipping up. But that Huddersfield-Tottenham score, that could be massive for us because it takes even more pressure off here. Hall trying to find Moura doesn't actually find him. Pineda does find him though, and then plays it all the way back across to Sessegnon, who's in loads of space. Chelsea are playing very narrow. Hall comes inside and scores. It's only Simon Hall's 3rd goal of the season. He's been nothing like the threat he was last year, but for a split second there, it looked like we had our old Simon Hall back. If he's back to his best next season with Mirabella playing well as well, we are going to be a force to be reckoned with. If we can convert some of these loan signings to permanent ones, I'm thinking Horta. I'm not sure about Pineda, but we've already got Mirabella tied down, and if we can add the right players, which obviously we'll be doing in a transfer special tomorrow morning, if we can add the right players, then. Dare I dream? Goodness me. I mean, that gap suggests probably not time to start dreaming yet. Hall plays it into Mitrovic. They did brilliantly there, and Mitrovic forces the save out of the Chelsea keeper. We have the corner. Imagine if we went 3-0 up before half-time. Horta whips the corner in, and Chelsea struggled to get it clear, and we've got a throw-in in a dangerous position, but it's apparently not dangerous enough to warrant being a highlight. So Chelsea now with the opportunity to grab one back just before half-time. We intercept. Moura plays it forward. I don't even know to who. I think it is that Pineda or Horta who was the closest to it. It was a wild clearance and put us back under pressure. And Jadon Sancho, after having one disallowed earlier in the first half, does grab a goal back just before half-time for Chelsea. It's his 16th goal of the season. Maybe he is a striker. Maybe I know nothing. But I mean, it's a decent finish. He's definitely a threat, and we need to try and stop that happening too many more times in this game if we're gonna win it. But as that points gap shows, and as the Huddersfield Tottenham game shows, it doesn't actually matter at the moment whether we do. Right, let's continue to keep the pressure off by doing. These fans, the fans have been fantastic all season. Give them a performance to cheer for. They like that. That's good. Hopefully that keeps the pressure off whilst encouraging them to go out there and have a good game. Just keep the lads calm. They're all motivated. They're composed. There's nobody stressed out. That being said, there's also nobody stressed out in the Chelsea team. Oh, actually, there is now. There's some anxiety and fury appearing now. That's good. We're frustrating them. Whereas we're staying motivated and composed. That's what we need to do. I am starting to think in terms of when do I bring Mirabella on, and Chelsea get a bit of a fortuitous equaliser there. It's come back off the inside of the post at a wicked angle that I do feel a little bit hard done by that. Lopez, I can't really blame him. Maybe the defenders need to be a bit quicker to react than their striker was, but that's what strikers are there for, isn't it? Reacting fastest in that kind of situation. Right, we are going to take off Moura and bring on Mirabella, and we're going to take off Pineda and bring on Calderon. Keith Wells, by the way, if you're wondering who he is, we've just won the Under-23 Premier League trophy thing again for the 2nd season in a row, and this lad was the star man of the team this year. Last season it was Paul Bell. This year, Keith Wells. Another young striker who should be a Premier League player at some point in his future. We have a very, very good youth setup here at Fulham. Back-to-back Premier League under-23 wins and a bit of a conveyor belt starting of players making their way into the first team squad. I don't know if Wells will be a part of the squad next year because we've got a lot of good young strikers, but there's certainly another 2 or 3 players down in that under-23 team who aren't a million miles away from challenging for first team spots The future is very bright. We've dropped down to 7th place. How? Huddersfield must have come back from... Oh, right. Now we've got 10 minutes. We need a goal. We need to go back ahead. We've got Pepe. Is he going to be the difference? Should we bring Wales on and see if he can do the job? I'm going to bring him on for Hall. I know Hall scored today, but we just need something a little bit different for the last 10, 15 minutes. Try and attack Chelsea in a different way. Let's show some passion. It's a local derby. I've taken the pressure off for 2 full games now. Now you can give me 10 minutes of passion to end the season and try and get yourself a spot in the Europa League. Sancho's in again, though, and scores. Oh, now we're relying on Tottenham to do us a favour after we ruined their season in the last game. It doesn't feel likely. And then I guess we're just going to be sitting and waiting to see if 7th place does get a Europa League spot. And I just don't understand. I don't know if it does. I'm going to be gutted. Tottenham have got to go back. Tottenham have got... Harry Kane is my new hero. I'm going to kiss him on the eye. I think we're in Europe, boys and girls. Team talk. It didn't matter. Can we passionately say it didn't really matter? I am pleased with the performance. We did quite well. But did Tottenham manage to hold on? Have we made it into Europe for the first time in non-league to legend this year? I think we have, everybody. I think we have. It doesn't confirm it, though. When do we get... Liverpool have won the league, for those of you interested in that kind of thing. It hasn't confirmed that we're in Europe. But I think we are, because the FA Cup final is Man United against Tottenham. So if Man United win, 6th place goes in Europe. If Tottenham win, they can't go in Europe twice. So even if it defaulted back to Man United, either way it comes to us. We are in Europe. It's just not rubber stamped yet. So a Europa League season next season, I think. And transfers coming up tomorrow. Oh, it's getting exciting. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.